Tuesday, yeah.
You're so glad to be here.
I am. I'm really I can do.
Able to
Oh. You might have laid a
Well, it took us, I've got to do all my stuff, mammogram, bone density, everything, all that kind of one day.
Sorry, Jimmy, I didn't mean to drop on you.
No, she can go check it out. I said, "What's wrong with that?"
Way out there.
Where's the rest? And I was like, and then I didn't keep this one. It was just taking a minute. Yeah, to know that. Yeah, the rest of them got it. We'll work. Yeah,
No, they're not.
Are they not any of them?
No, they're not.
I didn't notice that.
I didn't notice that.
Looks like we got new mic.
You don't have to
Work.
I never used mine anyway.
Yes.
Oh, wow. How loud?
I usually turn mine on either.
Yes, that one, and I quit, I tried to quit, she said, it's not good.
I got 6 o'clock.
I can't get out of
Y'all willing to stand? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Jason, would you lead us in prayer, please?
Dear Heavenly Father, we come before you this time, Lord. We thank you for this day, Lord. We thank you for the city. We thank you, Lord, for keeping your hand on all of our citizens, God. We ask that you would lead, guide, and direct the council as we do business for the city this evening. We ask, God, you would continue to keep your hand upon our police, fire safety, and our soldiers abroad. We ask all this in Jesus' name. Amen.
I'm not going to say this just so about pretty quick, because last time I said that it took a long time. So, I'll call the meeting to order by asking Mrs. Toddy for a roll call.
Brett Parker.
Here.
Bonnie Winkles. Here. Sarah Roach. Tammy Slinker's here. Jerry Bradley.
Here.
Jason Stewart.
Here.
Linda Smith. Hazel Riley.
Here.
Donnie England.
Here.
Cindy Wood. Here.
All right, we have a quorum, and just found out that you do not have a copy of the minutes in your packet.
Mayor, I'd like to know if we forego the reading of the minutes.
Jason Stewart made a motion to forego the reading.
I second it.
Jerry Bradley second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed with no. All right. The financial report is in your packet. I'll give you just a minute to look over it and entertain a motion to approve.
I make a motion to approve.
Motion made
made by Tammy Slinker,
Second.
second by Hazel Riley. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is no. And that will stand as agreed. All right, department reports. Chief Redmond is not here. Captain Henry? No, sir. We do have one report to make that I'll make for him. Captain Lenny Becker has been promoted to Assistant Chief of Police, or Deputy Chief, however they want to call it. And Detective Grayson Dye has been promoted to Sergeant in the CID division. So I want to make that note there. Bubba? No, sir. No fire department report. And James is on vacation. So, we have any committee reports?
We did meet the beautification committee, and we started up all the arrangements for the center barbecue again. We were going to have it earlier, was requested by the department, so we're in the works to get that all put together. It'll be in June. So,
Any other ones? Ward reports? Unfinished business. All right, you don't have this on your packet, but I would like to entertain a motion to amend the agenda to vote on a prospective addition to the Planning and Zoning Commission. Last month, we approved Zach Walls. There was some miscommunication between Zach and I. I thought he had agreed to take it, and he didn't actually say that he would at that time, and he graciously and apologetically declined the appointment. So, do I hear a motion to amend the agenda? Gary Bradley made a motion. Cindy Wood second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. At this time, I want to recommend Amber Maritzi Warren to the commission. She is a 2000 graduate from high school. She attended ASU and majored in journalism. She has had a career in real estate for 25 years and currently works at Westbrook and Reeves Real Estate as a real estate agent, as well as working at High Control as the accounts payable specialist for the last 2 years. She's married to John Warren. They got married in 2016 and moved back home here. They've got a daughter, Olivia, who's 5 years old. She is an active member of Maple Grove Baptist Church. She's a member of Northeast Arkansas District Fair Board and past member of the Jonesboro JCs. Amber cares deeply for Trumann. She wants to make this a better place for Olivia to live. I thought about who on this for a long time, and Amber came to mind. I've known Amber for several years. She's always been passionate about the things that she does, and she's always cared about the city of Trumann. And so my recommendation is that we appoint Amber to the Planning and Zoning Board Commission. Make a motion to approve. Jason Stewart made a motion to approve.
Second.
Gary Bradley second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is no. I'll make sure she knows about that tonight. All right, next up on the agenda is approving Callie Winkles to the Parks and Recreation Committee to replace Hillary Qualls. Hillary resigned for family reasons. Callie has children playing sports and has already been volunteering her time to help in any way she's been needed. Sometimes she will go in and just start helping. She sees what needs to be done, she'll help. And she was referred to the committee by Deputy Director Macy Kelly to fill this vacancy. She's had a background check with
Make a motion for it.
Donnie England made a motion. Second. Brett Parker, second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. And appointment approved. Make sure she knows about that. All right, next is Resolution 1246. This is a change in personnel policy regarding city vehicles. The change, and I know we'll have some discussion on this. We'll have Ms. Toddy to read it and then we'll discuss. But the change in wording is basically allow city employees who are on duty to pick up or drop off their children or grandchildren at school when an issue arises causing the need. As the change reads, this will not be a cover-all policy to allow on a daily basis. I personally don't think it is feasible to make someone go home, change vehicles, drop off their child, go back home, change vehicles, and go back to work if they're already on duty. And it's just not feasible, in my opinion. So at this time, I'm going to ask Ms. Toddy if she'll read the resolution, then we can discuss it more.
Resolution number 1246, 2024, resolution amending personnel policy and procedures for the city of Trumann, Arkansas, section 6.12.6, vehicle use policy. Whereas the city council of the city of Trumann developed, established, and approved the municipal personnel policies and procedures, and whereas the city has determined that there is a need to make a change to the handbook of personnel policies and procedures for the city of Trumann regarding city vehicle use. Page 38, section 6.12.6, paragraph 3, amending the use of city vehicles is restricted to city business purposes only. Employees using city vehicles shall not pick up or transport any private parties not directly involved in the work of the city. With prior approval of department head or mayor, employees may transport spouses in city vehicles when attending conferences or meetings, or their children and or grandchildren to and from school on occasion when issues arise causing the need. This is not a cover-all to do this on a daily basis and must be approved by their supervisor. Whereas it has been determined that this resolution is necessary and proper and therefore becomes effective at its passage, and all employees will be notified. All resolutions and parts of resolutions in conflict herewith are repealed to the extent of such conflict.
Do I hear a motion?
I make a motion.
Gary Bradley made a motion to approve. Do I hear a second? Second by Bonnie Winkle. All right, any discussion?
Just one thing, I don't remember that even being part of the personnel policy, that people couldn't be transported in city vehicles, but if it was, surely there was something there. Have we checked with our insurance carrier to make sure that that is not prohibited, and that's why that statement was in the policy to begin with?
I have not, and honestly didn't think about calling them. My thoughts are, if it's going to be allowed for a spouse to ride in it, then I'm going to say that there wouldn't be an issue.
If the provision for spouses are in there, then I would say that the kids are probably covered too. So, I mean, again, we utilize city vehicles, police vehicles daily to transport non-city related workers around the city. So, again, I don't have a problem with it at all. That thought just popped in my mind.
And that's a good point. And again, like I said, I did not think about that, but I would think that the spouse is in there and it wouldn't be an issue. My thing is I do not want this to be a constant thing. I don't want it to be an everyday deal. But let's just say Gary has to take his daughter to school because her mama's sick. Or he has to go pick her up from school because she's sick. It don't make sense feasibly for us or him to have to go home and change his vehicle, go pick her up, bring her home, then get back in his other vehicle and go back to work. And that's just my thoughts about it.
But in a situation like that, people need to go,
Yes,
hey,
that's-
I've got to go pick my kid up.
Yeah, that's why I said it must be approved by the
Yeah.
supervisor before that can happen.
And typically, they're always in the
I mean, provisionally, I'm not opposed to it at all. I always work in insurance. I mean, Jimmy, you tell me, can we approve it and then repeal it if we have to? Do the insurance?
Yeah, you could come back with a resolution next month that.
But I'm not gonna stand in the way of it. Just something we might want to check out.
I will make it a point to check that out. We got this out this side. I'll do that tomorrow.
So what happens if you're in the car line trying to drop off a kid, you get emergency call? Or you get one halfway over there and you gotta leave, and so you've got a kid, you've gotta stop off, it could be.
That's a good point, and I did think
Because
about that. I would hope.
You've got a child in there.
Yeah. I would hope that our police officers would have enough common sense to say, I can't take my child on a call. And they would go ahead and make the drop off or
That's something to think about.
or even go back home and drop them back off. I mean, if they're at school, they're on the way to school, I mean, let's face it, all of our schools are close enough that we can get there pretty quick. And if he's got his lights going, he can go around all the other traffic, I'm sure, and let him drop the kid off, and then he can take off on a call. That's my thought.
So I would think we would have more than one officer too that could.
And we do have-
first before that.
During those hours, yeah, we should have at least three on duty.
Yeah.
Just to interject, it'd be the same as if we're transporting a prisoner like I have from Poinsett County, and then we get an emergency call. We do everything we do, we gotta do to get them where they need to be and go. The chance of that happening are slim usually, but it has happened.
It has happened way before.
And had to get them up here in a hurry and throw them on the bench and take off to help someone.
Right.
But normally, like you said, if there's more than one officer on duty and you already make provisions, say, hey, I'm going to pick this guy up from the county, the one the CID guys covered, they do, so that way you've always got somebody there to back up.
And it'll be the same way with this, they'll make sure dispatch knows that they're gonna be.
Yeah, same with the fire department, I'm sure, or the city or whoever else it may.
Well, if it's made known that it's the last resort for them to do, then hopefully we won't ever have to
Yeah.
encounter it.
Yeah. And
As far as it'll happen, I mean, I know it probably will.
it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. I mean,
It shouldn't happen.
but it's not gonna happen, if we see a trend that it's happening on a regular basis, then I'll be calling the department head in or supervisor in, and hey, why are you allowing it to happen all the time? And I don't want to get that way. But any other discussion? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed with no. Resolution passes. All right, next is resolution 1247. This is a resolution we discussed last month. The council meeting for May is going to be on a date when a couple of our schools are having different graduations, and several of our council members are going to be out along with our clerk. And so we got a resolution to change the next council meeting to the 13th instead of the 14th. Ms. Toddy, would you read the resolution, please?
Resolution number 1247, 2024. A resolution to declare Monday, May 13th, 2024 as the date of the May 2024 regular City Council meeting. Be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Trumann, State of Arkansas, a resolution entitled Resolution declaring Monday, May 13th, 2024 as the date of the May regular City Council meeting. Whereas the City of Trumann conducts regular monthly City Council meetings on the second Tuesday of each month at 6 p.m. 221 South Melton Avenue, Trumann, Arkansas. And whereas the next regularly scheduled meeting of the Trumann City Council is set to occur Tuesday, May 14th, 2024 at the regularly scheduled place and time. And whereas school graduations for Trumann-based schools are scheduled for the night of Tuesday, May 14th, 2024 in conflicts with the regularly scheduled Trumann City Council meeting. And whereas because several members of the Trumann City Council have planned to attend the school graduations due to having family members and friends who are graduating. The City Council may not have a quorum necessary to conduct business at the regularly scheduled meeting. It is necessary to reschedule the regularly scheduled meeting on Monday, May 13th, 2024. Council members are able to attend and a quorum will be met to conduct city business. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Trumann, Arkansas, to wit, based upon good cause as set forth above, the regularly scheduled meeting of the Trumann City Council set for Tuesday, May 14th, 2024 is hereby rescheduled to Monday, May 13th, 2024 at the regularly scheduled time of 6 p.m. and at the regularly scheduled place, 221 South Melton Avenue, Trumann, Arkansas, for the purpose of conducting the regular business of the City Council.
And I bet she wants to make sure that Mr. Gasaway don't put regularly 15
I would appreciate that.
That's a tough one anyway. Do I hear a motion? Donnie Ingram made the motion, Bonnie Winkle second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is no. Resolution passes. Regularly. All right. Next is ordinance 725. This is an ordinance that changes ordinance number 492 from being inattentive driving to hazardous driving. This will allow our officers to enforce the law easier, as it makes the language more precise and understandable and not as vague as 492. This will or should help in enforcing driving acts that will make our streets safer. This will be a charge that will not go on a driving record of the violator, thus not hurting their insurance. Ms. Toddy, will you read the ordinance, please?
Ordinance 725-2024. An ordinance to end of hazardous driving, to repeal Ordinance 492 for other purposes, and to declare an emergency. Whereas the City of Trumann, a municipal corporation and city of the first class, has the authority to establish ordinances to control traffic and ensure safe travel within its boundaries, and whereas the City of Trumann previously established the offense of inattentive driving by Ordinance 492, and whereas in order to provide a more well-defined ordinance to control traffic and ensure safe travel on the public and private roads, streets, and thoroughfares located in the City of Trumann, Arkansas, the City Council hereby finds it necessary to repeal Ordinance 492 and establish a new offense of hazardous driving, which upon conviction shall be considered a violation of city ordinance and subject to a fine and court cost as set out more fully herein. Be it therefore ordained by the City Council of the City of Trumann, Arkansas, Section 1 definitions. A. Hazardous manner is defined as the operation of any motor vehicle on the public way or private way of the City of Trumann, Arkansas, while failing to give reasonable regard or attention to the act of driving or operation of such vehicle. B. Motor vehicle means any self-propelled vehicle, including without limitation any motorized conveyance, including vehicles propelled by electric power, any motor-driven car, truck, all-terrain vehicle, golf cart, tractor, motorized farm equipment, riding lawnmower, and motor-driven cycles of any cubic centimeters or displacement. Section 2, it shall be unlawful for any person to drive or operate in a hazardous manner, including without limitation by failing to keep a proper lookout for other traffic, vehicular or otherwise, or in such a manner as the evidence of failure to maintain proper control on the public thoroughfares or private property in the City of Trumann. Section 3, it shall be unlawful for any person to operate or drive any vehicle on the public thoroughfares or private property in the City of Trumann, Arkansas, in violation of the following prohibited acts. 1. Improper or unsafe lane changes on public roadways. 2. Driving onto or across private property to avoid intersections, stop control devices, or traffic lights. 3. Driving in such a manner or at such a speed so as to cause a skidding, spinning, or sliding of tires or sliding of the vehicle. 4, driving too close to or colliding with parked or stopped vehicles, fixtures, persons, or objects adjacent to the public thoroughfares. 5, driving a vehicle which has any part thereof or any object extended in such a fashion as to endanger any person or property. 6, to operate any vehicle in such a manner which would cause a failure to maintain control. 7, to operate or drive a vehicle wherein or whereon painted in such a manner as to be dangerous to the welfare of such passengers. Or 8, to operate a vehicle in any manner when the driver is inattentive and such inattention is not reasonable and prudent in maintaining vehicular control. Section 4, a person who violates this ordinance shall be subject to a fine not to exceed $200 and additional court costs. Fine money collected shall be placed in the capital equipment fund of the police department. Section 5, ordinance 492 is hereby repealed. Section 6, emergency clause. In light of the immediate need, ensures the streets and public and private thoroughfares within the city of Trumann, an emergency is hereby declared to exist, and this ordinance being necessary for the preservation of public peace, health, and safety shall be in full force and effect from and after its passage.
Okay, one issue, section 4. Person who violates this ordinance shall be subject to a fine. I think it's supposed to be not less than $200.
Well, the problem if you make it not less than $200 means that you could make it $1 million, and that would never be reasonable.
Right.
And so, you know, the way it's written is anywhere not to exceed, anywhere between $1 and $200. We did not make it go over 100. It was 125, I think, inattentive, and so we upped it.
I thought it was not less than 125.
If we were going to make it not less than, we would need to have a not more than. Here we just put 200. Now, if we want to come back and change that, you know, go ahead and, if y'all want to pass it tonight, if we want to change the fine section, we can come back. Anybody, if y'all pass it tonight, anybody to be arrested on it between now and the next meeting would only be subject up to a $200 fine. But after that, if y'all want to change the fine amount to make it, you know, I'm just making this up, not less than 125 and not more than 350, or you know, whatever reasonable. Where you get in trouble is these are just violations. So misdemeanors, for example, are capped. Fine on a misdemeanor, Class A misdemeanor, is capped at $2,500. You don't want to have a city ordinance violation that would exceed what a misdemeanor violation could be fined. And I think as I recall, what the courts look at when they analyze ordinances is whether or not the fine is reasonable in relation to what the conduct was. And here you're just talking about some driving traffic offense.
And I want to understand that. You know, I'm not looking at trying to make it an outrageous amount. I just want to make it where it's a deterrent for people to do this. I mean, prime example, I just got video day before yesterday of 2 cars out in the parking lot at PRC doing donuts and graveling and drag racing in the parking lot. And so, is a $200 fine, or let's say the $100 fine going to deter them from doing that in the future? Maybe, maybe not. Probably not. So,
So, at this point, just a question, that's at the judge's discretion.
Yes.
So if he decides it's going to be $1 fine, it's $1. If he decides it's going to be $200, then it's $200.
Correct.
And I can get $1 fine, and J. Paul can get a $200 fine for the same infraction.
yep.
I want to make sure I understood that right.
That's why Ron Hunter gets paid the big bucks.
That's also why, I mean, I would like to see a bottom limit and a top limit. So he has to charge them at least this amount.
Yeah, we can do that.
But I mean, we need to just pass it like this and then come back next month and change it, or can we change the wording here? I don't know. I've not been through this.
I've always been told, and Jimmy can correct me if I'm wrong, if it's on the ordinance, it'd be one thing if it was a grammatical error, but since we're actually making a change, we'd have to either table this or something. I'm okay with passing it the way it is, and then if we decide we want to change the fine, come back and do it. And the reason being is surely the judge has enough wisdom, and I believe he does, not to give somebody a $50 fine for doing something like this, knowing that the floor for that has been $125 for this long.
And I agree with that. I mean, I don't have a problem with that. We can always come back and change it later if we see that becomes an issue.
They need to change the month on here to April.
I didn't write this one.
That is grammatical.
That is grammatical error. All right. Do I hear a motion to approve?
Make a motion.
Jerry Bradley made a motion.
I'll second.
Jason Stewart, second. Any more discussion? We'll kind of put the cart before the horse there. That's all right. All right. Roll call vote, please. Ms. Tyler.
Brett Parker,
Four.
Bonnie Winkle, 4. Tara Roach, Tammy Slinkard, 4. Jerry Bradley, 4. Jason Stewart,
4.
Linda Smith, Hazel Riley,
4.
Donnie England,
4.
Cindy Wood, 4.
Read second and third reading by title only.
Motion made by Jason Stewart to read by second, third, title only.
Second.
Second. Brett Parker. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Ms. Toddy, would you read the second and third readings, please, by title only?
Ordinance 725, 2024, an ordinance to create the offense of hazardous driving, to repeal ordinance 492 for other purposes, and to declare an emergency. Ordinance number 725, 2024, an ordinance to create the offense of hazardous driving, to repeal ordinance 492 for other purposes, and to declare an emergency.
Do I hear a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Jason Stewart made a motion to approve. Jerry Bradley, second. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please. Ms. Toddy.
Brett Parker. 4. Bonnie Winkle. 4. Tara Roach. Tammy Slinkard. 4. Jerry Bradley. 4. Jason Stewart.
4.
Linda Smith. Hazel Riley.
4.
Donnie England.
4.
Cindy Wood. 4.
Since the emergency clause was written into the ordinance, Mr. Gadway and I discussed this. It passes as well as the ordinance and goes into effect immediately. All right. Now I'd like to discuss the selling of the old water office. I've talked to James about this. His recommendation is to sell it. It's basically just sitting there. We're paying utilities and insurance on it, and with no use. If anybody has an idea of how we can use it, I'll be glad to entertain that idea and listen. But I have not seen anything that we could use it for. I think we'd be better off to sell it.
Are you talking about the one that John Perry had a contract on? Or no?
No, the old rural water office.
Oh.
Sorry.
Okay, okay.
We'll work on that later on.
Thank you.
All right, that's exactly.
I've been waiting.
You and I have already talked about that.
Yes, we have.
We'll work on that
Put
one.
another service station in.
That what?
Put another service station.
Hey, any business wants to bring money, I'll take it. We want to make sure they look good. Hey, what? I've had several people that's actually asked about it. I've had several people that's asked about it.
Jeremy Osmond, I was interested.
Jeremy's asked about it.
That's great. I think I would.
I've had 2 or 3 others actually have asked about it.
No.
So, do I have y'all's permission to accept this?
Yeah.
Advertise bids and take bids? That don't actually have to be voted on, does it?
City owns the property.
Let's just make this easy. Do I hear a motion to allow me to get bids?
I make a
There you
motion.
go.
Gary Bradley made a motion. Tammy Lincoln second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed with no. All right, we'll get on that immediately. And with nothing else on the agenda, I'll go into the mayor and just pretty quick. Fire station rebuild is moving along as planned. They're still on track for a late September completion. They did have a little pickup with drainage from the property next door, causing the ground behind it. They had to clean some out, put more in, and make it more solid. And then they're going to reroute that drain around the back side, which is still all within contract price and all that. So, other than that, that's the only issue that I know of that they've run into any problems, and they'll fix that. So, it's still, as of right now, it's still on pace to be done in late September. The old disposal pump is complete and up and running. The fence around it should be completed this week, and as soon as it gets completed, we'll get the paperwork done and get it sent to Adam so we can get reimbursed for all of our costs on that, and the fence was included in that grant as well. The other 2 new ones at Birch Street, the treatment plant, are almost complete as well. Birch Street is complete and running, except they're going to have to put an air valve in it, just like they had to do with the one at the old disposal site to make sure it runs correctly. And they're going to have that done here in the next week or so. Once the treatment plant, it's almost complete as well. We have the EDA grant kickoff meeting this Friday at 1 on Zoom, so hopefully this will get things rolling. We can get started on construction of the Clearwater tank. Vegas Fence Company is installing fencing on each end of the tennis courts. It should be done this week. They've already got the poles set. I hadn't been by there today to know if they've actually got, if they put fencing on it or not. So, they've got the poles set, and maybe they'll get fencing done pretty soon. It should be done this week. We'll get pickleball nets over there as soon as the fencing is completed. I took those nets out because, number 1, they were going to set through the winter and just be weathered on. There's no reason for that. Number 2, we've already had pictures of kids over there riding the tennis court nets. And so hopefully we can get this fence up. It's not going to stop them from doing that, but maybe it may deter them a little bit and make it a little less likely for them to destructive like they tried to be with the other nets. So we'll get those back over there just as soon as they get the courts up. Plus those nets are movable where the tennis court nets aren't, and we'll kind of keep track on those. Baseball season has just started. All of the electric was cut at Fleming Fields. This was after the tornado. When they cleaned up, they cut all the electric, so we have no electric over there. I'll just leave it at that on that part of it. I'm going to say this, that we're working on getting electricity there for bathrooms. We got the water fixed at the bathrooms. They've got it cleaned up. Scott Brown and Macy and several, I don't call other people's names because I don't want to miss somebody, but several others have volunteered to help clean that up. They've got enough light in the bathroom until we start having night games, which we won't have this year. They got enough lighting in the bathroom until we can get the electricity hooked up where they can have lights in there. The bathrooms do work and they're cleaned up. So they're able to have games over there. Let's see. We will need all new lighting as well as concession stand and rebuild field number 2. some ideas, some thoughts on that. I've reached out to the municipal league about the legalities, and I'll get with Mr. Gazaway and we'll discuss this as well. Ever since I've been in office, I've thought about this, hadn't said much about it, hadn't said hardly anything about it. I've seen some other people who talked about it, and I want to look at the possibility of imposing a tax on alcoholic beverages that's sold in the city of Trumann. Probably 70% or more of the alcohol sales in Trumann come from out of town. And so that's out-of-town people helping us with our parks. And if we can do this and it gets passed, then this money would be earmarked strictly for park and rec reconstruction and maintenance, and not just ball fields, but parks as well, and recreation and maintenance. This is where am I at? I lost my place. Oh, okay. This would have to be an ordinance passed to get it on the ballot, and it would go on the ballot, and then the city citizens would vote on it. Now, I got the email back today, and I guess Mr. Gazaway got it back, so he and I will be discussing this on the legalities and what percentage we can go up. I read it, understood we can go up 4%. I'm not sure. But anyway, this is something for y'all to think about. Discuss it with your constituents in your wards. If you want to do that, need to do that. And if we can do this, and after Mr. Gazaway and I discuss it, then I plan on having a ordinance next month for next month's council meeting to get this put on the ballot for November.
Is tobacco in it, like you have
No.
alcohol and tobacco?
No, it is strictly alcohol. Yeah. Again, the taxes generated will go directly to the Parks and Recreation budget to get this done, to get the new lights. We've got to have new lights at all the fields. Number one, we need LED lights at the complex because those lights out there are eating us up in power. I've got a company that I've been talking to since last year called Sustainability. They have options where they will install all the lighting, and we'll pay a monthly fee. They do all the maintenance on it, regardless of what happens to it. They come and fix it, and they do it quickly. It's not a we'll wait. We'll be there in 2 weeks. We'll get it done. I'm negotiating a price to bring if we go that route, but this would be for all of our parks, all of our ballparks, plus the tennis court as well. And we would have LED lighting, plus it would bring down, I think the estimated cost is 80% less on our electric bill for those fields. So, I mean, it makes sense if we can get the price right through Sustainability or another company, if we can find another company that'll do that. I've been doing some research and had a whole lot, not enough with that. Scott and Macy have advised all people will have one game per night on it. That way it's still daylight, and that scoreboard will not work this year. Again, because we don't have electricity to it. So they'll make sure that everyone's kept up with the score, the balls and strikes, and inning and all of that. Scott and Macy, again, along with other volunteers, have been working on the complex to clean it up, paint and repair. Had some comments about the concession stand being cleaner and smelling a whole lot better than it has in several years. I've already had those comments. So they've done a great job out there with little work with it. And so we appreciate them and all the volunteers, the committee members that have been working and everything else. Resurrection Rally was a success. We look forward to next year's event. It wasn't jam-packed like I was hoping, but I also realized that it wasn't advertised as much as it should have been. We thought we did, but apparently we didn't. So we're going to work on next year being even greater and bigger. And also, I didn't put this on my report. I want to mention this. we've had concrete donated to build a bigger stage outside. We've got a small stage right now. Bigger bands, it's harder to do things, and we'd like to have something like this more often and outside. And a 20 by 40 stage is about the size they would need. If y'all were at the concert, you've seen the productions. That stage we had there is not quite 20 by 40, but it was packed with production equipment. I'm hoping we can get this whole thing donated to build this new 20 by 40 stage outside with cover on it. We'll have electricity and lights and everything. And if we get all that done, that'll be great. Again, the concrete, or 12 yards of concrete, which is real close to what it's going to take to get this done, has been donated. The rest of it, I'm still working on trying to get it donated as well, or at least get some cut on the cost so we can do that. The annual police department Easter egg hunt was held at the sports complex, and it featured an Easter egg drop from a helicopter. The kids loved it. I think the adults as much as the kids did. And then we appreciate Jackie Sanders for doing that, and I think Stephen Moss is who I was told was in the helicopter with me. But they really enjoyed that, and it was a good deal. There were many kids there, and so I told you last month that I've been in contact and working with Tiffany Circus, and they are coming to town. They're going to be here June the 14th to the 16th. It'll be out at TRC. It's going to be outside in the park. Everything's going to be under the big top, so it's all going to be inside. The kids will be able to go for free. Finally, I think this is final. Yeah. I have my receptionist, Brandy DeWitt, which y'all met last council meeting. This is not final. I got one more thing with that. She is attending a grant writing, and as soon as she has completed it, she will begin looking forward and writing grants for the city, which is something we direly needed. So we've got that going, and this is exciting news for us. Also, I've started the Mayor's Youth Council. I think I mentioned that to y'all last year. And we've got that started. I've appointed Beth Bradley and Brandy DeWitt over the council. We've sent out applications and started a Facebook page, which is Trumann Mayor's Youth Council. That also has a link to an application and a QR code where they can just scan that and get an application. We've had several applications already come in. I'll be doing either a video or a video and an assembly at the school that Ms. Williams said we can do to get the kids involved and active. The vision of the Mayor's Youth Council was to empower Trumann High School students dedicated to personal development and servant leadership, allowing them the opportunity to work with the mayor and other city leaders to bring to the table community issues that affect the youth of our community while working within the budget to make positive changes in our community. These kids are the future of Trumann. They're the future leaders of the city of Trumann. And if we can get them involved right now and get them interested and active, then this is teaching and training our next leaders. And so I'm excited about this. I hope it turns out great, and we'll keep a report. Plus, they're going to have to come to council meetings. Maybe not every council meeting, but they will have to attend a certain number of council meetings to see how things go and how they operate. They'll have to learn Robert's rules of order and things like that. So, any questions?
I would like to say that there was one young man that was last year that he said he wanted to be a mayor, and I told him, hey, go talk to you.
Was that pastor's son?
No, this is a black boy.
Oh, okay. He hadn't talked to him.
Well,
We'd be glad to talk to him.
he was adamant he wanted to be.
We don't have anything else.
How about the cleanup?
Oh, yeah, I didn't ask about that. I've already talked to a couple. I've got Hazel's, I've got Donnie's and Cindy's.
Well,
Yeah, I'm looking at this way, I'm going back over this way, Brett and Bonnie and Kara, I've got y'all's locations and times where you're gonna start. I think it's more.
And I go every road on mine and can't find a bag, full bag of trash.
Well,
Well, you come over.
you can help them over there. Anyway, we do need a location, if you and Linda will get together and get us a location, but we need it pretty soon, because this is April 20th, and we've got to get it out so people will know.
I sent you, that's the one.
I say Ward 5 is far.
And
Yeah,
that's Cedar Park.
okay, yeah.
Who were the boys working on Congo Road District?
Picking up trash.
Uh-huh.
That's a couple of our city workers.
Oh,
Yeah, we've got two, one of them works part-time and the other
I
one
didn't
full-time.
recognize them.
Yeah, they've been doing a good job. Of course, as fast as they get picked up, there's more right there.
Yeah.
Ward, 3, 2, 4, what's your ward? 4. I get them mixed up. Ward 4. If you and Linda can get us a place.
Yeah, we've been discussing it, yeah, and I go out and there's nothing to maybe I can go out and see other stuff.
Anything else?
You furnish the bags, trash
Yes.
bags for us?
Yes. And
I'll make
do
a
the best
motion
as
we
we
go
can
on.
get. Nobody's out there, but I gotta ask you, any public comments? Motion to adjourn?
Make a
Abel made a motion to adjourn. Second. All in favor, say aye.